Before I jump into talking about some specifics, I like asking everybody a first curveball question. If someone has actually never seen anything that you've done, what is the first thing you want them watching and why?
You know, there's a movie that I did many years ago called The Dying Gaul, Gaul. I'm going to say that one just because, I don't know, it was kind of an experience that wasn't like this one, but it had its own intensity, and not many people have seen it. So there you go.
I like that answer. Jumping into why I get to talk to you today, there's so many things to love about this film, but the thing that I think I love the most is that it talks about things that you talk about in private with people that never get put out into the world. You know, it's the whispers between people, and yet it's, you know, that's the focus of the film. Can you sort of talk about that aspect, that it's dealing with such, you know, things that everyone deals with but never gets talked about?
Well, I think, you know, there's two things. There's the fantasy life that we all imagine that we're leading or hope to be leading, that is kind of a utopian thing, right? Like, I want to be the best parent and the best actor and the whatever your personal ambition is in terms of who you are, right? And then there's the actuality of how you're living. And I think the closer we get to where we're actually at, rather than where we would like to be, the better things will go. And I think that this movie is really about somebody who's not living her best life. She's sacrificed too much in terms of her own desires and ambitions. And if she doesn't break out, I mean, I think it's really wild in this movie that you're sort of, I find myself rooting for her to do something that is going to hurt other people.
It's actually an interesting point that I hadn't thought about. What is it like playing the catalyst for change for Jessie's character, and also being like this object of desire?
Oh, it's great. If people want to cast me as the object of desire, I'm all for it. I'll do it anytime. It was nice to play the character, but also, you know, there's an element of him in there that I was really interested in, which was the part of him that's missing out on something. You know, we frequently think of these people that are like the, you know, not the husband or wife, but the satellite person, the third wheel, the person that is that they're having the affair with, as having it good or being lucky, or, you know, he doesn't have kids and he's just going around sleeping with different people. And I think, like, in the end, he's left kind of hollow. He's not wanting to continue this thing. He's not happy with the way she's talking with her children, because he's not a part of that. It's like, that's her real life and he's in the pretend life. So it was interesting thinking about him with some amount of compassion.
What is it actually like? I can't imagine this, what I'm about to ask you, but what is it like being directed by your wife when you're filming a love scene?
You know, a lot of the thing with these love scenes is they're very technical. You know, it's not like, it is not the same as it is in life.
Sure.
It's more like dancing than it is like anything. You know, that's what it feels like. So you're trying to get in anyone's hands. When your wife's doing it, it's a slightly easier, because I felt like it made it easier for Jessie. Like, Jessie knows she's in safe hands. My wife doesn't want me to have like some real
Sure.
sex with Jessie or something like that, or even like to fall in love with her or something. So it feels like a very safe environment, is what I would say. And it's very technical, all that stuff.
I am actually a very big fan of your work, and I love learning about the way actors prepare for scenes. So hypothetically, if you're filming something on like a Monday, it's very emotional, it's very dramatic, you know it's a big scene. How early on are you actually breaking down how you want to play that scene? You know what I mean? Like, can you sort of take me through your process a little bit?
I mean, if a scene on the page says like he has his big cathartic moment and now he sees the light sort of thing,
Sure.
or the baby's dead or some scene like that.
Something that you know is gonna challenge you as an actor.
Yeah, I don't prepare in the way that you're talking about very much for something that's just emotional. The thing that I do a lot of preparation for is like giving a lecture where I'm playing someone who has to know a lot about something, giving the final speech in a courtroom trial before the jury, and I'm the lawyer, and I have to like explain why they need to decide. That sort of thing requires a lot more homework. In a scene that has got an emotional value that is really mostly about that, I try to show up and relax and walk in without a lot in my mind.
That's interesting, and it's a completely different answer than I've heard from other people. Yet I completely understand it, and it makes total sense.
And I always tell myself, you don't have to do anything. Like if the scene says that the baby is dead, if my reaction is like yours faced right now, people will project that onto me. There is no specific reaction to the most tragic events in life that we all know to expect, because very few of us have been through them. And those of us who have know that sometimes people laugh randomly. Sometimes people get into a coughing fit. Sometimes people just sit there. I mean, it's you can really take the onus off of yourself as an actor when it says the baby's dead.
Yeah, as I said, I like talking about this because every time I learn something new, it's really cool. You filmed this movie during the heart of COVID, and you were on an island in Greece. What was it like making a film that's obviously on a budget in the middle of the pandemic? What can you sort of take me behind the scenes?
Budget had to get slightly larger because a huge amount of money needed to be spent to keep people there for 14 days in quarantine that were only working for 3 or 4, to COVID test everyone 3 or 4 times a week, to hire an epidemiologist, all of that stuff. I mean, there was, that's all added tons of money to filming. So that was difficult. But Greece was just a perfect place to make it, both in terms of like the number of COVID cases at the time, but also because there's a great history of filmmaking there. And there were many capable people. We had a very international group of people. So it was like, felt close to home to everyone except maybe us. Very British cast and English, French DP, Israeli producers. I mean, it was coming from everywhere.
I have to stop there. I'm just going to say again, congrats on the movie. And as I told your wife, I hope she's making something again soon. She's really talented. Thank you so much for your time.
She will be.